Owen, we're back. The vlog is officially making a comeback. I think I said before at some point, maybe in the summer, that it was going to come back. Never did. And then I said in another one it was going to come back. Never did. This time I'm going to say, like, for certain, it'll be back. It'll be slightly different than before. It'll be more of a weekly summary kind of thing instead of a daily vlog. Just because the daily part of it, I feel it was good because it gave you context to various workouts. So I think, like, sometimes when people do vlogs and stuff like that, they post like some epic 6-hour long day and they're like, bam, there you go. And that was the initial reason why I wanted to do it daily, because I was like, I don't want to just put up like a crazy training day and people maybe think like, oh, is this what this person does every single day? Like, holy crap, that's insane. But in reality, it's like, it doesn't give you any context, like I said, of what the training is around that or recovery or anything like that, which is why daily is good. Problem with daily is that, especially over the winter time, for a vlog, I found at least, and I think probably viewers found the same thing, is that vast, like 99.9% of the training is inside. My pool doesn't allow me to film, and all my bikes are going to be on Zwift, on the trainer, and the run, quite frankly, it's very difficult for me to film my run when I'm the person doing the filming, the editing, everything. It's very difficult to take a video of myself while running. I don't know how it's possible. The only way it would be possible, I think, is if you had like the Hero 7 or something like that to like stabilize it, because I remember I tried one time taking a video with the iPhone while running, and oh my god, it made me nauseous. After 15 seconds I had to turn it off, so I wasn't going to subject people to that. So anyways, with that being said, I think the daily part of it, especially in the winter time, got very repetitive. For me, even just editing them, I'm like, oh my god, there's another Zwift video? Holy moly. And I can't imagine what viewers must have been thinking at the time. Like, yeah, we've seen Zwift. That's cool. That's great. What else you got? So I think doing the weekly thing will be a little bit better, and it won't be like a training video every single time. It might be just me talking, like in this video, for example. The reason I'm not doing anything in this video is that I thought about it, and it was like, it kind of be weird to like have an absence of the vlog for, 6 months or whatever, and just bam, come back, and all of a sudden I'm ripping a workout on the bike. Also, it's the off season right now, so there isn't any ripper workouts on the bike to actually film. I just did an easy swim this morning, but that's pretty much it for the day. Anyways, it's coming back now, and I thought with this first video, what I'd do is just literally be talking, giving you kind of a wrap up on things. I'm not gonna ramble on for the entire thing, wrapping up all of 2019. I did 2 blog posts like throughout the year. I did one like reflecting on the first half of the season, and then my one on Indian Wells that I put up last week, I think it was, kind of gave you a pretty decent wrap up of the second half of the year. So anyways, I'm not gonna, like I said, ramble on. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna talk about what the plans are for the 2020 season. Here are the goals for 2020. Well, actually, I'm not gonna say goals. I'm gonna say these are the plans for 2020. I have goals within those plans. Here are the plans for 2020. April 25th, I'll be making my Ironman debut in Texas. A lot of thought went into that decision. Actually, that decision was made like back in, I think, early July, something like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do a full Ironman. And a lot went into that. One of the biggest things, I'm going to try to keep this somewhat quick. And this goes back to just my pure kind of running days, where I took on the marathon at a very young age, with really no road racing background. And the reason for that was simply because the distance literally scared me. And I thought, wow, 42.2 kilometers. That's a far way to run. I want to do that. And thinking about that, like, gave me those butterflies in my stomach, And that kind of excited me and fueled me throughout all my training, just thinking about imagining like, oh, what's it going to feel like at 35K, 36, 37K, whatever. Like, I wonder what that's going to feel like. And that got me so pumped up to train every single day. And it fueled me through for years, that excitement of thinking about the distance, the challenge of the distance. And that was the thing with it. Like in my first marathon, I went in with 0 time aspirations. I went in like, my pacing strategy, there wasn't really much of a pacing strategy. My training going into that was basically I just ran. I like, there weren't like specific things that I did. I did do like a long run and stuff like that, but I did 0 kind of like speed workouts and stuff like that. I probably, if you were to look at my training, you'd probably say like there was like unstructured speed work, like fartlek type stuff, where basically I just had fun with things and like randomly, like, 20K into a run or something like that, I'd just be like, yeah, what the hell, I'm just gonna pick it up like all the way to the finish or something like that and just hammer. So it was pretty random stuff. So I'd say it was unstructured speed work. There was 0 plan to things in terms of like, I'm gonna do mile repeats. It was just kind of like, I feel like kind of going a little bit quicker right now at this point in time, so I'm just gonna run fast. But for the most part, like I said, it was just, I ran. And I just ran progressively longer and longer and longer until I, 3 weeks out, I hit a 32K long run and then tapered and then ran the race. Did decently, but like I said, there was no time goals. The goal, the sole purpose of doing that race was 100% conquering the distance, because I looked at that distance and I'm like I said before, I'm like, wow, that's a far way to run. Like, that must be crazy. Like the fitness level that you must be in to be able to do that, and to actually like run it, like somewhat briskly. It must be incredible. So that's what started me out with running, and the Ironman is kind of the same exact thing. And I'm not saying that like I'm not going to do 70.3 anymore. It's going to be a huge part of my season next year, just the same. But I'll say that the distance of the 70.3 doesn't excite me really. Like it's more like about like just getting faster and faster and faster and faster. That's really it. And I mean, the Ironman is in the pro ranks is going to be, I'm not overlooking the fact that it's going to be pretty fast as well. But I mean, the distance of the 70.3 isn't really an issue. It's not like, oh, I wonder if I can complete 70.3 or something. That's not a problem. So it doesn't really excite me to the same degree. I'll say going fast excites me. Getting faster and faster excites me. But what I mean is what excites me much more so is conquering a distance that kind of scares me. And when I look at the Ironman at 140.6 miles, I'm like, that's a far way, man. Running a marathon off a 180K bike, jumping. That sounds intense. And that's what really, like, it scares me thinking about it. And that's what gives me that adrenaline rush. And that's why I pursued triathlon in the first place. So, having said that, going to the full Ironman is like, people might think, wow, it's a little bit too early, but it's like, well, I got into this to have fun. I got into this to do something that excited me, so why not? I remember I asked Craig Alexander this in China last year. I said, because I was already thinking about things then, and I said to him, when do you know that you're ready for an Ironman? Because I was always thinking things like of the nature, and I remember saying this to people before, I'm like, I want to really like have that perfect 70.3 or whatever, and then I'll go after the full Ironman. But first of all, it's like, well, what exactly is the perfect 70.3, right? What does that mean? Is that like a personal best, or is it like a race where you push the most power you've ever have and run the fastest you've ever? Like, what is the perfect 70.3? Are you ever going to have a perfect 70.3? I don't know. It's hard to define what that exactly means for me. So, having said that, I asked him this question, and he said, basically, there's no magic time that tells you, oh, you're ready for an Ironman. It's simply just put in the work, train for it, and that's when you're ready to go. And so, yeah, that's the game plan. That's why I'm going to go after things. And actually, in terms of just the going long aspect of the Ironman, that's, like I said, that's something that I've always loved to do. I remember telling people back in grade 4 cross country, and this is going to get put to the test in like 4 months, but I remember telling people in like grade 4 cross country, I said, I feel like I can run forever. Like, and I know we were running very small distances, but I've always felt that on runs sometimes, like I'll get into this zone where it's just like, man, I feel like I can go all day. And so going long is something that I've always enjoyed, and you can see that with my training. You didn't see that like back in 2013 and 2012 and stuff like that, but I just ran a huge amount of mileage, like, because that's what I love to do. I love to just go for these epically long runs and like stack just long run after long run. And I'm not saying I'm going to do that. I was being a bit of a crazy person, and that's a recipe for disaster, which it was. But what I mean is in general, I mean that going long is something that has always excited me, and it's always something that I've loved to do and always been pretty good at doing. So I'm excited to take on the full Ironman. So Ironman Texas is the goal for April 25th. And the reason I picked Texas, and I'll wrap this up pretty quick, the reason I picked Texas is that Texas is a pretty pancake flat course. And even though you might say that, well, that doesn't really suit me really, I picked a flat course because I'm not going in with kind of the idea of, oh, I'm gonna win this whole race. I'm going in and I picked a flat course because I want it to be that, and it's a big variable, but I want the distance to be the only kind of factor with things. I don't want it to be like, Ironman Lanzarote, where it's like, okay, not only is it now a brand new distance for me to do, but it's also an insanely difficult course. It's hot, it's hilly, it's windy. There's so many factors. There's technical descents, everything like that, and even technical descents made even more technical with unbelievable winds, and then it's a boiling hot run. So there's a lot of variables going around. Texas to me seems a lot more just clear-cut, simple. And I say that not to say that the distance is simple, but I mean the course in general, there's zero technicality to it. So anyways, I hope to get a good feel for the distance at Texas, and then my big goal, where I do hope to actually make a kind of a big splash in terms of my performance, is August 30th. I'll be going back to Penticton, and I'll be hitting up Ironman Canada, and that's pretty much on the same course that we did ITU Worlds on, which I won for the amateur race. So I got a lot of good memories there, and so I'm really excited to head back there now as a professional and take on the full Ironman on a pretty iconic course in terms of Canadian triathlon in Penticton there. So yeah, it's going to be a super exciting season there with those two fulls, and then there'll be a bunch of 70.3s in there. I'll be doing very likely Ironman 70.3 Texas that first week of April, just to travel down to Texas and kind of, I don't think they're in the same place, but just get in the Texas mindset. If I could find a place down there, that'd be really nice, but and spend 3 weeks there, that'd be great. But in any case, that'll be the plan, the Ironman Texas, Ironman Penticton, or Canada, and then some 70.3s in there. Having said that, excited to take you along on this journey. It's going to be a really exciting build. I got a lot of good things planned. To be honest, looking at my train, I'm not really changing too much about it, because I already did pretty good volume. I mean, if you follow me on Strava, you'll know that. Like, volume's not really that big of an issue, but it's continuing to do that volume and staying injury resilient. That's going to be my biggest goal and biggest kind of thing for the year is to be able to put 4 good months of training together, because I think with just like the marathon, the Ironman is the distance that you can't fake it. You can't go in with any problems or something like that, because the marathon or the Ironman is a distance that will expose any weakness. You can't hide from it at 20 miles into the marathon of an Ironman, or just a straight up marathon. Either one, there's nowhere to hide. So anyways, having said that, it's good to be back and excited to take you along on this journey, and yeah, get things started. It's gonna be some good times. Right now I'm digging this weather. That fact that I'm sitting down outside with my hand without a glove on, it's beautiful. Anyways, having said that, happy holidays. It's December, 23rd today. So it'll be a busy little week. Not busy, but a fun little week doing things. And then it's full on back the next week, back into full training. This week's more of a prep week. And yeah, so happy holidays. Enjoy yourself. And I'll see you next weekend, whatever that is. Saturday or Sunday, one of the two. Alrighty. Thanks again for watching. See you later.